sorry. Like, I didn't think they were gonna keep playing, and I kind of followed the band, and now I know my part. Share from this stuff. I did share from this stuff. Yeah, I guess I gotta wait a couple days.
If you could offer up any.
Yeah, Mr. Lonely, but soon though. Soon. I cannot.
I have to say,
run into you, dude. But yeah, no, I love popping in your streams. You're kind of there in
the dumb political.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sidetrack.
I'm not able to be there, so I pop in here and I try to shoot you a handful of likes before I go to the toilets. A lot of followers. Dude, I met, well, Mr. Lonely, yeah. Mr. Lonely, what is your, username? Is it Mr. Lonely? Or is there something else there? He's a streamer as well. We just met. I might have seen you around.
Sorry to disappoint that I'm not down there.
And I will try to remember the next time.
I'm looking at other streams. It only looks like there's a handful of people at the protest anyways. I don't know if it's the rain or if people are just waiting.
Something should be good. But that's Mr. Lonely, yeah, super nice guy. Yeah, he's kind of in the off hours, in my opinion. Or not my opinion, that sounds terrible. Sorry about that. He's in the hours that we just ran into each other, so any of the hours that I'm not there, he might be there for sure. So definitely follow Mr. Lonely. Mr. _ Lonely _ 04. We for sure gotta support each other, dude. Yeah, if you wanna, dang, yeah, I guess, are you gonna be out and about tomorrow, or, Mr. _ Lonely _ 0. For sure, dude, yeah, everyone's out there doing the right thing, we're getting tired at this point, so I have, oh, yeah. Well, dude, yeah, so that's the thing, man, yeah, we're always kind of out with this, but I will Monday for me, maybe Monday night, but, so yeah, opposite hours. He's met everybody else, so I just up my hours in this for sure.
Did-
Deep in toilets. Mr. Lonely's up there drinking Celsius. You give it back to the. Yeah, super nice to meet you. No, I thank you, dude. Yeah, dude, I guess I didn't realize it, so thank you. So I don't know why I was supposed to do. But yeah, you and Cheaper, like I haven't met, so thanks for stopping by. But yeah, sorry it was short. I kind of got carried away with anyways.
See if I can't find any live stuff happening over in the Middle East. Flight tracker.
Well, why is it split screen?
Not sure.
Instead of like.
That music was pretty good, right? Like that is actually me kind of being.
No, it was so good, and it was so good from home that I know that it was so much better there.
Dude, the vibe was there.
I know. Turn my TV on all night.
Look at this.
I banned the one thing, and then I just had my like 10 or 12 people. What the fuck? Having like 15, 20.
There are no flights over Iraq or Iran right now. It looks like there's one in Syria. Everything's flying well out of range. It looks like they're flying well out of range of any surface-to-air missiles. Up in Turkmenistan, it looks like they're cutting pretty close to the border. I know I could use some streaming software and just have multiple windows on my screen, but then I wouldn't have 2 screens worth of shit to show. Why'd the volume go off over here? Oh. So Jade the Journalist, if you're not familiar with her page, dude, she's only got 65 subscribers. People should go give her channel some appreciation. Right now she's streaming Spider Mike and Pretend Media. She was just streaming somebody up in Minnesota a few moments ago, but I guess they ended their stream. Let's see if we can't find more information. Here's a live from Beirut. Is this live? This looks like a screenshot. And for those of us that are uneducated, Beirut is in Lebanon. Still, this image does not look like it's live anymore. I mean, you can see it. I don't know. I know it's hard to see over here. This looks like a pile of rubble. I can't tell if these smoke clouds are moving at all. Let's see if we can't find another one that's actually working. Fuck Fox News. Won't give them anything out of that. I don't know why this AP link isn't working. I mean, that's the same. Yeah. So from things that I've been reading, it seems like Iran has found a way to crack the Iron Dome in Israel. I didn't know that these existed, but apparently they have cluster missiles. You can't shoot all those down. Why don't they use an atom bomb on their? That makes no sense.
But I like that one a lot.
Love the shirt too. I mean, the shirt's awesome. If you could send it to me, or yeah, how about like my? Can you send it to my email? Or email it to me. I am Spider Mike. I'll get it comes to my shirt. Sure.
So apparently we're trying to arm the Kurdish fighters in Iraq to go and fight a ground war in Iran. And if you keep up with the news, there was a training event that was canceled. Now they're thinking that they're going to be sending American soldiers to the deserts of Iran on the ground. A pointless war to cover up for the Epstein files, which are not going away. So American servicemen and women are going to end up dying pointlessly. Trump wants unconditional surrender, which is not going to happen. So he's basically just leaving them with no other choice but defense until death. And that's by design. He just wants to destroy the entire country. Just like he said that he wants to destroy countries through tariffs and through canceling trade programs, which he supposedly was the master of. He figured it all out. Big Mac for 2026, if you know what I mean.
Right now. Oh look, Spider Mike's hiding in his truck because the Popo are after him. Shit. Whatever.
Spider-Mike don't care about the Popo.
Yeah, Shane won't. I mean, seriously, man, he is strange. He really is.
Look at me restreaming people's streams.
You know, and
Isn't
there's
that
been times
funny?
when he's approached me and he tries to be really kind and nice to me and all this stuff, and you know, like trying to be friends, and you know, I'll just, you know, I won't give him any shit. You know, I'll go along with some of those jokes and stuff like that. You know, because you got Shane with a Y, and then you got the tall Shane, which is what is he, the Patriot Shane, I think is what they call him, or I don't know what he goes by online, but he's the tall guy. He's the dude that comes down here with his pew-pew. He always has a pew-pew with him.
I know, right?
And explain that to me.
Here, I wonder how this would work out. Let me see something if I can make this look funny.
Apparently, Patriot Shane hasn't been showing up because he has a warrant. and the Portland police are looking for him. Oh my God, wouldn't that be nice? You know, get him on live, you know. Them detaining him, arresting him, and putting him in the back of a car. Hey, that would be hilarious.
Windows in a window, in a window, in a window, in a window.
You know,
Look at this. It's gonna go on forever, man. I needed a break. I didn't work or any of that stuff today. I needed a little mental break. This right here, though, this is pretty cool. Look at it, just gonna go on forever. We all need a good laugh. I'm telling you, it's just gonna go and go. And go. I feel like I'm gonna get sucked into the image.
Up the road a little bit. Up the road a little bit. and then he turns around and he sits in the middle of the road with his and starts screaming at everybody.
Just gonna watch it keep going and going and going.
Just a little.
Oh man, hey, this could be like a whole channel idea.
I should treat little.
I feel like I'm in some kind of like 1980s music video.
Play on him.
I wonder what would happen, Jade, if you restreamed my restream of the restreams being streamed. The infinite window. Look, what is time now?
Okay. Stop sign, because apparently that's going viral on X, which that's what they do.
Oh.
Maybe I'll get more followers. I don't know. I should probably let Pam know that I'm live here. Let's see here. How do I go back there? Well, Autumn. Oh, did it really? Whoops. Oops. Hold on a minute here. I might have to take this phone off of this tripod because it's just not working. Yeah, I think you mentioned that, Autumn, that you were having some problems.
Are you really gonna do it?
Is it now you said it's with your body, or is it like respiratory, or in? I would get a hold of.
I think we're gonna end up crashing YouTube if we actually do this.
Because they have a multi-member lawsuit against these a-holes. Oh my God, Now, I don't know, Autumn, if you were here the night that they deployed that green gas. I want to say that was January.
I think we're gonna end up crashing YouTube if we actually do this.
And they deployed that green gas. I wasn't near it, but I did watch it get deployed. And I was puzzled. I'm like, what is that stuff? You know, because tear gas is white cloud, and then of course pepperball let us. And
I don't know if it's gonna work.
Green gas. Now people gathered those spent munitions, and the canisters were they were expired. Oh, was it February 1st? Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember. Wasn't it like a Sunday, something like that, or that?
It is a full moon tonight, isn't it?
I just don't remember.
I don't know if it's gonna work.
The actual date when they deployed this junk. But anyhow, the spent canisters they actually expired back in 2004. I think it was 2004, 2005. And when they did a search online, that green gas came up.
I don't know. I feel like I felt
a
like
munition that was illegal.
I'm in the 12th dimension now.
The UN and NATO and all over the world, they don't use it anymore because in 2003, I think it was deemed to cause cancer.
Hello, everyone.
Okay. So,
what's up, Llama?
What the F?
Sorry, we're screwing around tonight, man.
What the F are they using on us? You know? So that's what they found, and they gave
What are the possibilities? Like, look at it. It's like.
What's it been? It's been 4 weeks since they've even, since they've deployed any kind of munitions. So, I don't have the details on the lawyers, but they are, oh my gosh, they're the people that come down here that have the lime green hats on.
This is like an art.
And, if anybody in here knows the name of them, it's like,
Oh, shit. I'm on Elon's map now.
They're all joined, and they come down, and they're younger. I mean, there's a couple of them that.
Oh, see, when I move the camera, it really.
In Reed College, they're learning, but they give legal advice And so
Oh, for sure.
but there
I'm
are
part of
people
the
that are, you know, they do have
early MTV generation.
you know, to practice law, and these are the ones that, yeah, Audrey would know, and she's supposed to be here tonight. But yeah, they've been doing this. And then there's also a lot of people that have been affected that you know, they hired their own legal representation, and you know, I mean, this organization,
Right?
you know, a $2 million lawsuit, they're just kind of, yeah, you know, whatever. That's
Yeah, I mean, what? It looks like there's like 20 people out there.
You know, for the conflict that we got over there in the Middle East, we're paying, what, $891 million a day? So what's a couple
It's still
million,
going.
you know, to pay one of the protesters down here that are having problems, you know? But I have heard there are a lot of, there's quite a few people that were at these protests that got hit pretty hard with that gas. And
Just
they're
gonna
having
chase the cursor now.
They're having all kinds of problems. So, you know, get them. Me, you know, I haven't had any problems yet.
Oops.
I mean, y'all saw me put my finger down and swipe up some pepper powder and put it in my mouth, rub it on my gum.
For a second, I was going to try to click that so it'd go away, but it's already on a different screen.
Weird like that. So, but I think I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to take this phone off of this. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, me personally, I don't know when I'm going to be back down there next. I was told that my stream wasn't very good. I had some very negative reviews, so I'm just going to kind of mind my own business. Got my bartender's license today, so hopefully I'll be doing some of that soon. And yeah, might not have a whole lot of time for things coming up.
I have another one. I swear I have another one. I know that. Shit. Well, I'm just gonna hold you for a little bit. How's that? Until they find the other tripod. I think it's in the back seat. Yeah, please like the live, everybody. Tap that screen.
I'm gonna go give Mike's stream a little bit of love here.
Clapping and stuff like that, I guess. I knew all this.
Yeah, but it was coming from people that meant a lot. So, unfortunately, I'll be on my own from here forth. Unfortunately. But, whatever.
My medications must be kicking in, everybody. Hold on a moment. Let's see. I'm going to try and, let's see, how could I do this? I'm just going to try and prop you up right here. Hopefully it'll sit right
But
like
it's,
that.
yeah.
Probably. It's probably going to fall over here in just a moment. But... Okay.
Where is his?
We have a couple inflatable frogs here tonight. How cool is that? It's freaking cool. You'll be able to see them here in a moment. They're just horrifying. Oh my god. I did an Arnold Schwarzenegger on the tightening of these.
Well, my chat bot works for whenever I need that again.
Okay. Like this. Unplug that.
Where is?
Like that. Let's see. How we doing? Ooh, that's looking mighty. That's looking mighty fine right there. That's looking real nice. I think so. Yeah. Whatever.
Oh, maybe I typed it wrong. Oh, there he is.
Let's see. I don't think I need to worry about any PPE right now. some personal protective equipment. Because I'm not afraid. Oops, my keys are stuck.
Where'd you find Spider Mike's stream?
Oh, there we go. Got it. Got it.
Doesn't have anything active.
No idea what they're trying to play down there. Trying to play something on their big speakerphone, whatever the fuck it is.
For everyone joining, you have entered the 12th dimension.
Taking a quick pull of my beverage.
I'm attempting to crash YouTube or the entire reality of the universe, which might actually be a good thing. So you can't do this if you're using streaming software. It's the Infinite Windows window show. I need to get high or something. That's what I need. Yeah, maybe if I was a little high, I wouldn't be freaking so goofy right now. I was gonna say, what did Pretend Media? Did his stream drop?
Oh, just now? Really? Well, he's standing next to the woman beater, so I imagine that's true. Hello, Nathan. You are on my side now. Oh, and pretenders. Hello, pretenders.
Well, last time I did shrooms was the last Dead and Company show. Not at the Sphere, but their tour in San Francisco. That was before I moved out here. I was still living in Florida. Me and a buddy, we flew to Seattle, and then we drove around, went down the coast to San Francisco, went to the concert, and we finished off in LA. But I bought a bar of shroom chocolate outside the venue. And what a funny story. It's like my friend, he was big into shrooms. And I'm not sure. I have a photograph somewhere of the package. I mean, this stuff looked like it came from a 7-Eleven. But so we're like about to cross the street to Oracle Park in San Francisco. And there's a lady standing on the corner with a shoulder bag. And it's like she's selling peanuts at a freaking baseball game. She's like, shroom chocolates, shroom gummies, shrooms. And me and my friend, like, we stopped mid-stride, and I looked at him, he looked at me, and we just nodded at each other. So we got this bar of shroom chocolate. And it's in 5 bars, right? So he gives me 2, he's eating 2, and he flips over the pack and he looks at the back and he's like, his face just kind of goes white almost. But then he hands me the 3rd bar and he's like, I'm good. I was like, really? Before we even got to our seats, he was tripping balls. It was penis envy mushrooms, but we're in it. So I had 3 pieces and he had 2. And he sat there for the whole first set with his face in his hands. And I'm just like, dude, if you want to leave, we can leave. And he looked at me like terrified. It was a good time, though. It was a good time for me.
It was facing this way, so
Yeah, the crowd looks like it's getting bigger down there. Where are you going to get a hoop? Oh, 9v9. Oh, count me out. I'm terrible at basketball. Oh, baseball? Oh, baseball. Duh, I'm reading that wrong. Sorry. Jade over here restreaming my alternate reality. No, it's all right. My eyes are a typo as well. I've gotten so used to like speed reading a lot. Sometimes I mean, I'm probably just getting older, but I miss the words sometimes. I mean, I'd like to hit other things than the baseball with that bat, but let's try to not be a violent person, right? Well, somebody told me that Nick Sorter was supposed to be in town. And that's really why I was checking in to what the situation was down there. Yeah, he's an idiot. He thinks he's military, but he's too short and he's too stupid to even join ICE. Yeah, I've got Jade over here. Jade's multi-streaming. And let me see here. I got Spider Mike. I couldn't find his stream. I go to live and I don't see his live stream. I mean, that's his channel. Maybe I refresh it. Oops. Yeah, I don't know where his stream is. Hey, Cadu, how are you? Oh, Mike's on TikTok. Okay, that's why. I'm going to be right back. I need to step away for just a quick moment. All right, I'm back. Yeah, Caddy, I'm doing all right. I'm sure you know what the situation is now, so if you want to stick around and hang with me, I appreciate it. But I'll have to say that I'm not exactly sure when I'll be back down the live stream at this point. I am going to take a step back and process the negative feedback that I was given and just figure it out from there. I mean, that's kind of why I did the whole Nightbot thing. I ran a test yesterday. Yeah, you know, it's I won't get into it too much. This isn't exactly the forum for that, but it's disappointing. And just try to not let it get to me too much. Kedu, thank you. I appreciate it. Worst case scenario, I mean, on the 28th for No Kings, I'm going to be out there. It's only 22 days away now, just over 3 weeks, clearly. I'm pretty sure I'll have to work later that day, but I think the event is from noon till 4 on the 28th, so I should be able to cover the whole event. And Kadu, if you have any suggestion for the Nightbot, let me know. I don't want it to be a frustrating element, but it might help take off some of the pressure. I don't have many of the chat moderation features on. I did add some key phrases, but it should not censor any chat. I even kind of considered if YouTube moderation was being a problem, of just moving the chat over to some kind of a, I don't know if Discord's the right platform with everything I've been reading about it lately, in the whole teenage experience. If you don't send them a facial photograph to be recognized as an adult, and it's not exactly like all the stuff. And if you are familiar with Parker's permaculture, she actually lives here in Portland. I was watching her streams and videos for a couple of years before I moved out here, but she just did a recent video on the whole Discord situation. I highly recommend watching it. Let me see if I can pull that up. And grab my keyboard back. Oh yeah, see, it's the first one right here.
Who here was a big Discord user? And
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with Angela's channel, I would definitely go give it a check. Okay, so it's Europe that's getting the facial recognition stuff. I was unaware of that. I thought it was just going to be a platform-wide situation. But yeah, all you computer lovers out there, I can
So thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for hanging out.
that is a Ryzen 5 7600 with 32 gigabytes of DDR5 CL32 6000 NT. I've got a MSI 5070 for the graphics card. It is a Gigabyte Eagle B650 motherboard. I have a lean 1000-watt power supply in it because I'm a big computer geek. And of course, I couldn't go without the dual screening here. Could sit here and watch my streams while I video game. Oh, that's where that one went. Let's look at the flight tracker again. Oh yeah, I could play everything on. I'll take back. Maybe not like Skyrim Oblivion, or is it Elder Scrolls? Whatever, Oblivion. They made it with the game engine, Engine 5, Unreal Engine 5. That thing will tax my system, but I can play everything else in 1440p at max settings. Again, here on this flight tracker, it looks like all flights are being diverted around Iran. Up by Turkmenistan, there are some flights coming close to the border here. Just right around in here, if I got the finger point right. All right, so yeah, right around in here. Well, consoles are nice because they're plug and play, usually. And a lot of the newer ones are using upscaling. So you can get that 4K resolution without having such expensive hardware, which I feel like that's where the gaming industry is going now at this point. It's unfortunate. So Iran live news. Controllers are okay. Like, I've got one. Oh, where to put it? Like, I've got a gamepad. I've just got a little Logitech gamepad. I don't really use it for too much. Like if I was going to play the new Resident Evil game, I'd probably use the controller, just because that's the style I'm used to playing that kind of game. Even though I do have a well enough computer to play racing sims with all the proper controls, those controllers are expensive. But I was really into flight simulating games for the longest time growing up. I actually had all the controllers for that stuff back then. It's all long gone. Let's see here if there's anything new happening. Let's see if this AP feed works again. No, it's just... I mean, it looks like there's smoke rising over here. But this, I think their feed is frozen. Or wait, no, you know what? It's not. Right over here in this, there's an awning on top of this building. I can see it moving. So this is live. So it looks like, I mean, they're bombing Lebanon now. So if we're all wondering if it was really about Iran, it was not. It was about control of the Middle East in general. What's the point in going after Hezbollah in Lebanon at this point?
So I don't want anything to do with you or this guy. That guy right there is such a fucking pussy that he only puts his hands on women.
Mike's getting pissed.
Yeah. Isn't that right? Brian Beach with a V, right? Brian Beach? Right? We're done. That's Brian. He ain't got no name except Brian Beach. So, he puts his hand on women. Puts his hands on women. That's his fucking police record.
Cadu, that's crazy.
Okay, so shut the fuck up. Get away from me, you fucking pedophile. Get away from me, pedophile. Look it up. Do you know how to work Google? Yeah, okay. Okay.
I mean, this war in the Middle East is going to spread into every region in the area, every country.
That he used your footage from? Okay, you saw the picture that he started with?
Sorry, I'm listening to Mike real quick.
Okay. Well, Climactics now knows that my lawyers are on it. He used the wrong fucking picture. That's not me, okay? So he's fucked. I know his real name. I know Climactics' real name, Climactics. I know your real name. My lawyers have your real name. See you in court, motherfucker.
I don't know about Climactics. I don't know why you call them.
Well, you know what? I explained it to you. So now so the world can hear you support a pedo. We're done. Yeah. Do you support Donald J. Trump? Fuck yeah, you do. So get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck out of here. Dude, they just released files today that fucking prove it.
MAGA are so stupid. How can they still be supporting this guy?
They're talking about the president. Hey, guess whose name isn't in the Epstein files? Obama. Guess whose name isn't in the Epstein files? Harris. Should have voted for him, but you didn't. Fuck off. Oh! And Walls. He's not in there either. You should have voted Harris Walls. Unfortunately, you back there, you still support a fucking pedophile. You're protecting a pedophile. He did what he did, alright? You can say Trump
what
and
the
all
fuck?
that shit, but he's in the files over a fucking million times, so fuck off.
That's wild.
The military should not have to fight to protect a pedophile.
So at least he didn't send the National Guard like fucking W did. Sent the National Guard over to Iraq to sacrifice their lives for a fucking illegal war. Fuck Trump. Fuck his administration. Anybody that still supports that motherfucker.
Thank you not very much for that, Mike. Okay. They didn't walk out to the gate?
Yeah, he did, Silverfox. Yeah. No, I'm talking about chat.
What time you got a pedophile?
I don't have any idea. I don't. If he gets any closer, he's gonna be fucking on his back.
That's all the Christmas tree no more.
Uh-oh.
There's the boy.
I'm gonna get off the side here. Get some footage. Right here, brother. Right behind you, brother. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Just want to let you know I'm behind you.
Go Pink Frog, man. Fuck yeah. Upper left over here, it's Jerusalem, Tel Aviv.
Give you guys a blowjob.
Tel Aviv over here. And then this is Beirut. Let me get that one a little bit bigger there. All right. So you got Tel Aviv, you got Beirut. And then over here, this is the flight tracker. If you can see all the flights, obviously there's nothing in Syria, Iraq, Iran, Kuwait. There's nothing in the air there right now. Of course. Absolutely. But over here on the Beirut side, it looks like there's smoke rising. Right in here.
I know.
And there's a huge pile of rubble here.
Sarah, I know.
And back over here in Tel Aviv. Sorry, my microphone's a little close. But it looks like the front of this building, the facade has been blown off right here. I could be wrong. That could just be some kind of shredded covering to block the sun, for all I know. Uh-oh. It looks like Jade's stream stopped, so I think she might be going down to the ice facility. She was saying that she was debating on whether she was going to go down there or not. Brilliant Butterfly, I hope that they stay safe. It looks like 2 flights just took off. These just kind of appeared out of nowhere. Northern Saudi Arabia. Or maybe they were already there. I don't know, can I rewind? I guess I can't rewind that. Yeah, it looks like Jade's stream stopped. So let's go find... Well, Spider Mike is on TikTok, and I don't do TikTok. Oops. Turn the volume down on that. So yeah, these are live shots. Let me see if I can't find any more. What's this? Oh, multi-streaming. Oh yeah, I remember seeing the previews for that. That was like based on a true story, wasn't it? I can't remember what they called that movie. Okay, so this is these two. They're showing Dubai here as well. I bet it is. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's why I don't touch that shit anymore. Let's see here. I don't need that window. Let's see, Times India. That's not live, is it? No, that's not live. I mean, right here on this video, they're showing missiles in the air. It's just insane. I didn't think we'd see another war in the Middle East anytime soon. I mean, it was crazy enough watching what happened in Syria until Assad was deposed. All right, so that's an Israeli. Okay, so this is Jerusalem. It says it right here up in the corner of the screen here. Now this is Lebanon.
And thank you, Joy. I really appreciate it. If anyone donates on Venmo or Cash App, I know we have
Yeah, Llama, I'm chilling today. I personally, I kind of, and it's not even just the streaming or any of that. I haven't taken a day off, and I can't remember the last time I took a freaking day off. You know, if it wasn't, streaming or gig working or doing my security job, I mean, physically I feel all right, but mentally I feel a little drained. So I'm just chilling today. But, I mean, wow, look at this. Look at this. This is Tehran right now. Oops. Yeah, mental downtime is good. 9 hours, that's a long shift. 9 hours is no joke. Right here, Tehran. Yeah, I believe this is Iran. They keep switching back and forth, though. They were just showing Jerusalem. And here, let me turn up the volume because I can hear machine gun fire. So this is Ramallah. Right now, you can see the name change up here. But I mean, look at this. I mean, those look like they're intercepted. But, I mean, who's to say, really? Even the falling debris. Yeah, that's live. Yeah, this is a live feed. Let me see. It's Times Now World. Yeah, breaking. Let me see. I'm going to minimize it. Oh, no, this was 13 hours ago. Fuck, I'm an idiot. I swear it said live. This is why I don't actually work in the news industry. Let me see. What is this doing? Let's see. It says live here. Dubai under attack.
Warned that Israel had made a big mistake, saying the consequences would leave the Zionist regime desperate.
Yeah, Lama, it was the highlights.
Bio now calls him the martyr leader of the Islamic Revolution.
Let's go over here, and I can't stand this man's voice anymore.
From 0 to 10, I said I give it a 12 to a 15. Their army is gone. They're just about, look, their navy is gone. Their communications are gone. Their leaders are gone. 2 sets of their leaders.
UAE Flight 4, Abu Dhabi, Dubai.
Wiped out entirely. Think of it. They have 32 ships. All 32 are at the bottom of the ocean. Other than that, they're doing very well.
Israeli warplanes bombing Tehran as war in this region escalates. Sources have come out to say that there have been multiple explosions that were seen from a distance from behind the mountains on Friday morning itself. Israeli warplanes bombed Tehran early on Friday, while US President appeared to rule out talks with Iran in a social media post, calling for its unconditional surrender. Iran meanwhile launched more retaliatory strikes against Israel and Gulf countries on the 7th day of war as we speak.
Yeah, we're so flooded with world-changing events right now. It's insane.
Both by the Israeli and the US sides, but it is also not stopping in itself. They have continuously been launching retaliatory attacks, be it drones. This breaking news right at the top of this hour's bulletin. Explosion rocking Beirut's southern suburbs and smoke billowing following Israeli strikes. An explosion rocked Beirut's southern suburbs on March 6 with smoke billowing over the Lebanese capital. Israel pounded Beirut on Friday after ordering an unprecedented evacuation.
I would imagine.
Southern suburbs of the Lebanese capital.
I mean, we're not seeing any of that stuff on the television, and that's by design. Just like they're not trying to put the protests here against ICE in the news. Israel, I mean, they really know how to suppress their population. It's pretty scary. Yeah, they won't show it at all. Yeah, Lama, I think that it's mandatory to serve in the Israeli military. I don't know what the length of the enlistment is, but I think it's mandatory. It's probably 2 years.
Not the first time that we see the two nations against each other.
Right, you know. Well, it's like that one MAGA family that moved to Russia, and then they took the husband and sent him to Ukraine. I haven't seen any more about that story. I think he died. So they lost their father and this lady's husband. Oops. Yeah, he did die. Yeah. It's a meat grinder out there. Putin's doing exactly what Stalin did in World War II. Just sending the troops into the meat grinder. It's going to take Russia decades to come back from the loss of population that they're suffering. All meanwhile, China's sitting there laughing. China's sitting there laughing with their billion population strong, and they don't go and waste their soldiers and their military on stupid conflicts. Let me take another look here at this flight radar.
जो है इजराइल की तरफ से फरमान जारी किया गया है वहां के रहने वाले लोगों को कि वो वहां से छोड़ के चले जाएं लातिनी रिवर जो कि मानता है कि उसके दक्षिण में जो है लोग चले जाएं और उसके
Okay. No big deal.
और वहां से उनका दावा है कि हिजबुल्लाह वहां से इजराइल की सेना पर ड्रोन और
Again, I mean, there's so many stories. I mean, we're inundated.
भारी नुकसान जो है वो पहुंचा रहे हैं इजरायली सेना को उन्होंने कल शाम को ये दावा किया था कि उन्होंने एक टैंक को जो है पूरी
Cthulhu, was this recent?
एक मिसाइल से और उसमें 6 जो उसमें क्रू था वो पूरी तरह से घायल है अभी भी अगर हम देखें तो यहाँ पर इसी तरह के हालात हैं पूरे शहर में लाखों में यहाँ पर आबादी रहती है करीब 5 लाख लोग जो है वो यहाँ से घर बार छोड़कर खुले मैदानों में रहने के लिए
Because I know that China considers Nepal
So viewers, that is Ashraf
part of their country, do they not?
who's currently in Beirut, in Lebanon, right where escalations have in fact been increasing and escalating with each passing day. You can see these latest attacks and the effect and the extent of damage it's left out in Beirut at this point of time. And as we speak, we'll take you through a ground report that's been brought to us by Ashraf Wani. These are exclusive reports.
Yeah, look at our maps. It's still its independent country.
That we're bringing to you exclusively.
But yeah, like the border in Pakistan and India has always been pretty contested. I think in this mountainous region is where that's, I don't know. Hey Mindy, how are you? Screwing around at the house tonight.
बड़ा रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन हुआ था एक आध घंटे के बाद, उसके बाद अभी भी कुछ मिसाइल फटने बाकी है जिसके चलते
Here, let me see if I can pull up some info.
पहले ही इस इलाके से लोग भाग रहे थे और अब जो है आप यहाँ पर आप ये देख सकते हैं किस तरह से धुआं इमारत हो रही है।
Yeah, early 26.
जो है यहाँ
They're not engaged in any active military fighting.
ये लेबनान का साउथ सबर्ब है और कितने ये ताकतवर धमाके होते हैं, कितने मिसाइल गिरा तो शत्रुओं की क्या हालत होती है। आप यहाँ पर
Hey, Scooters, how are you?
So that is the very explosion that we are speaking of. It has been a massive strike from the Israeli side, and as we were taking you through the details of the history between Lebanon and Israel, attacks and counterattacks have taken place through decades, but this is on a very different level. Let's yet again listen into what our colleague has to say from Beirut.
Okay, so over here, apparently this is from Beirut. It's not necessarily live, though.
के बीच में जिसमें जो टॉप लीडरशिप हिजबुल्लाह की है पूरी तरह से साफ कर दी। यहाँ तक कि कई लोगों का दावा है कि 50% से भी ज्यादा हिजबुल्लाह की ताकत खत्म हो गई, उनके हथियार खत्म हो गए।
I turned that up like I could understand what he was saying.
24 में जो दोनों के बीच में यानी हिजबुल्लाह और इजराइल के बीच में युद्ध विराम हुआ, उस युद्ध विराम पर हिजबुल्लाह ने तो अमल किया, लेकिन इजराइल की तरफ से तब भी मन के मुताबिक जहां भी वो चाहते थे, जहां से भी उनको खतरा दिखता था, वहां पर वो एरियल स्ट्राइक कर रहे थे, बमबारी कर रहे थे, जिसमें जो है हिजबुल्लाह की तरफ से जवाबी कार्रवाई नहीं होती थी। लेकिन जब शनिवार को सैटरडे को सुप्रीम लीडर का की एसेसिनेशन हुई, उसके बाद सीधी घोषणा जंग की एक बार फिर हिजबुल्लाह ने की और हिजबुल्लाह ने जिस अंदाज से इजराइल को चौंकाया कि आप मिसाइल भी उनके पास हैं, ड्रोन भी उनके पास है, जिनका दावा था इजराइल का वो खत्म हो चुके हैं और उसके बाद दोबारा जो है इजराइल ने ईरान के साथ
I think Iran has been
शुरू कर दिया
landing a lot. I mean, they've been launching missiles everywhere.
220
Thanks, Scooter.
लोग मारे गए हैं और करीब 500 से भी ज्यादा लोग घायल हुए हैं।
I'll talk about my setup here in a minute. I'm a big computer nerd.
उसके बाद हम ये देखें कि अब यहाँ जो आपने सवाल पूछा काफी महत्वपूर्ण कि क्या
I mean, I think Iran is just shooting, again, missiles everywhere. They're shooting them at Israel. Israel is bombing Lebanon now. They say they're going after Hezbollah, so it's not really about Iran, clearly. It's about freaking just war. Just war everywhere.
इस ऑपरेशन के पीछे उन्हीं की मदद से जो है हिजबुल्लाह चलता है, लेकिन जब ईरान
I wonder if I could put the captions on here. Oh, there's no captions available. Darn it.
हिजबुल्लाह और हिजबुल्लाह के इससे जुड़े लोगों को नहीं पहुंचा पा रहा है, लेकिन
Let me see if I can't find any more live stream feeds. Go back over PMs. Yeah, it's insane. The fact that we bombed an elementary school, a girls' elementary school, and killed over 100 children is disgusting and makes me embarrassed as an American. It makes me embarrassed. Very.
ग्राउंड इन्वेजन इजराइल की सेना ने शुरू किया है और ग्राउंड इन्वेजन में इजराइल के सैनिकों के साथ 1-to-1 जो फाइट है वो हिजबुल्लाह के लड़ाकू लड़ रहे हैं।
I know, we just left, right? Last decade.
मुश्किल हो रहा है क्योंकि इतिहास को भी याद करना होगा।
America hasn't had, what, 15 years? 250 years we've existed as a country. Give me a 15-year span of time where we were not at freaking war. If it wasn't against Native Americans in the expansionist era in the early 1800s, Mexico, we've battled the British several times. The 1900s were rife with warfare. World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam.
So as Ashraf Wani
The
brings
Cuban
us
Missile
those
Crisis.
reports live at this point in time, let's also take you through some of the ground reports that he's been bringing us from Beirut.
I'm currently in the south suburb
Into the 2000s, Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran.
Israeli Air Force, and now it has completely got damaged, and you can see the devastation in the suburb of Beirut. This is the stronghold of Hezbollah, and every day the IDF Air Force is continuously bombing.
Yeah, here's the crazy part.
This is a stronghold of Hezbollah.
The leaving of Afghanistan and Benghazi and all that pales in comparison to what Trump is doing.
The Beirut city was bombed by the Israel. Then there was the ceasefire between Hezbollah and Israel. There was some kind of a reconstruction in the area, but now after the 8 days of
Yeah,
between
there's no more
Iran,
spreading of democracy, I
America,
feel
Israel,
like.
once again,
I mean, we're giving a democracy a bad name.
city is on
Hell, our democracy isn't even working.
IDF, and
It takes an act of
each and
Congress
every part of this city
to start a
has been
war.
vacated by the people.
Or at
They
least
are,
it's supposed
in the
to.
open fields, they are in the shelters. Wherever they find any space, they are moving there, because the IDF has told all the residents in thousands and lakhs to vacate from the.
Yeah, we need to tax these oligarchs out of existence.
In Beirut.
That's what's going to happen.
So viewers, as our colleagues bring you all those reports from West Asia itself, which is a war theater right now, let's also take you through all that's developed on that war
I mean, we're not going to see military aircraft on this.
The West Asian war that continues
Clearly.
to intensify with no signs of de-escalation.
Saudi Arabia there.
Now, Israel has claimed that
Not
it's the
available.
headquarters of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, as well as several Hezbollah sites in Beirut itself. Now, this, remember, comes after Israel already claimed that it's launched the
Exactly.
15th wave
Like,
of
what are the calls that I'm reading about? It's like when Americans are calling our own embassies, they're like, "We're sorry, we can't help you." Like, what? It's pathetic. It's a joke, right?
Netanyahu visited the site of an Iranian missile attack.
Yeah. On that note, the AI propaganda is disturbing. I was watching a clip earlier, and they were showing different clips of the war, and they were like, "This one's real. This one's not. This one's real. This one's not." And you're looking at it, and it's like you have to really know what you're looking for now to understand whether it's AI generated or if it's actuality.
Iranian missiles bounded west bank of Israel. The missiles were intercepted by Israel. Iran also launched the 22nd wave of the Operation True Promise 4, firing missiles and drones towards Israeli territory.
אנחנו ביום השביעי של מבצע שעבר תאריך. אנחנו מכים באויב.
Cthulhu, really?
בהנהגה שלו. גם במשטר הדיכוי שלו.
By Ukraine?
וגם במטרות.
Are we talking about these things look like the Boston Dynamics? Those robots, the actual robots?
בהגנה, מה שצריך זה משמעת ברזל.
You know, and the U.S. government wants unlimited use of the Anthropic AI model.
בהתקפה מה שדרוש זה שלושה דברים. קודם כל נחישות, שנית יוזמה, ושלישית תחבולה. כאלה יש לנו בשפע, כפי שהאויב
I mean, it's...
ואני מוסר לכם אזרחי ישראל, הוא יגלה ביתר שאת.
Other tank tracks?
אנחנו בדרך להשלמה.
I mean, honestly, that would make more sense.
As the situation remains tense in the Middle East, there is that war that continues to escalate. India today's Ashutosh Mishra.
They have.
Ground zero as well.
They said that since they won't play ball, that they are going to phase them out.
What are we learning?
India today is at ground zero in Middle East. I'm here in UAE.
Well, the people in Anthropic, they know what they would possess. Clearly, they understand.
Israel and America. As we see,
And I'm glad that they're taking a hard stance against
situation, however, remains calm
any of that.
and absolutely calm, perhaps in
AI should not be a part of warfare, except in identifying a target potentially. It should not be making decisions on whether somebody lives or dies. That is not a line you want to cross.
This place, which is traveling more than 400 kilometers. However, there are certain orders that have been issued by the government that people should not be sharing pictures of the areas which have been attacked or even that could probably demoralize the people and create...
Mindy, that's the big question, isn't it?
Right at the top of the bulletin, we are going to be breaking news that's coming in. This is with regards to the United States warning.
Like, why did we bomb that girls' school?
On Iran today, U.S. Secretary comes out to say Iran is fighting a losing military battle. U.S. Secretary comes out to say tonight is our biggest bombing campaign. Will destroy Iran's missile launchers. This is Secretary Scott Bessent and she's come out to say that tonight will be the US military's largest strikes yet against Iran. You know, the Iranians are fighting on two fronts. They're fighting a losing military battle where they are being overwhelmed. And as the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, General Dan Crane, and the President have all said tonight will be our biggest bombing campaign. And we'll do the most damage to the Iranian missile launchers. The factories that build the missiles, we are substantially degrading them. And you know, our campaign there has been overwhelming. This is what the United States has come out to say. Remember, since the war began, the US has been claiming, ever since Donald Trump in fact came in with those remarks on day 3, starting from day 3, that US has been dominating Iran in terms of the military strikes that have been taking place against the very territory in West Asia. And Iran, of course, has also been retaliating, but the United States has continued to claim that their dominance is far beyond what Iran's retaliation power has been so far. So yes,
I think it's coming.
big warning that's coming from.
Well, what did Trump say just a couple of days ago? He was like, well, Spain can't tell us not to use these military bases. We'll just go in there and use them anyways. What are they going to do?
That has been waging for the last 80 years.
One stupid mistake, and we're going to be in World War III. Guarantee it.
US forces have now struck over 3,000 targets in the first week of Operation Epic Fury, and they're not slowing down. That's what we're given to understand. That's what the US has in fact come out to.
This is an old stream from this person. It said it was live, I thought. Yeah, I hate it when it does that. It'll say live, but then you click it and it says it's from days ago.
Now that number has increased. 3,000 targets in the first week of Operation Epic Fury.
Anybody ever seen Caligula?
Have struck
Malcolm McDowell?
3,000 targets in the first
Don't.
week of Operation Epic Fury. And this is
Donald Trump's
at a time when
Nope.
we do not
Donald Trump's alleged call.
Yeah, let's turn off the... There we go. I don't know why it keeps defaulting to the sound on when I cursor over.
Theater has not just restricted itself to the countries.
All right,
Iran
this one says it's
and
live.
Israel.
This
The
is out of India as well.
Station region, the Gulf countries in the neighborhood have
CNBC
also,
TV 18,
become
they're out of
very
India.
theater of war at this point of time, and it's not just also restricted itself to
I'm not gonna lie,
West
India's given out some good news
They've
coverage.
also been stepping up their games. They've come in
Um,
terms of support. They've come in terms to activate their military.
You know, it's hard to argue against them. It's not like you're watching Al Jazeera or any of that stuff.
The US and Israel would require.
Oh no, we'll call it World War III after it's over. When the historians who know about these things say, dude, this was a global warfare. I mean, it doesn't need to just be like people against one country. It can be war everywhere. That's why it's called World War. You know? It's like we were, you know, in World War II, we were fighting the Germans while we were fighting the Japanese. The Russians were fighting the Germans and the Japanese. The Chinese were fighting the Japanese. Excuse me.
But before that, viewers, these are some.
Everybody was fighting Germany and Europe.
Remember, these reports have been consistently coming in from CENTCOM, and CENTCOM had the chief.
Right, Damon, or the Great War, right? What is that Doctor Who episode? It's just like, oh, well, this all happened right before World War II, and he's like, World War II?
Now.
Oh, you don't know about that part yet.
The war in West Asia continues to intensify with no signs of either side backing down.
So this stream says it started 9 hours ago. It says it's live from Beirut.
Revolutionary Guard Corps, as well as several Hezbollah sites in Beirut. This, remember, comes after Israel claimed it launched the 15th.
I mean, they're right over there in the middle of it, pretty much. I mean, that's their side of the world.
The Israeli military.
You know, India's right here. There's tons of flights going into India, flying over Saudi Arabia here, into India, up into Pakistan. I mean, that looks a little scary. I mean, shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles can't reach these airliners out here. Then they're probably on the other side of the mountain range there too. Yeah, let me see if I can't find that one again. I gotta stop opening tabs. I've got so many freaking internet browsers open right now.
The missiles have been intercepted by Israel. Iran has also launched the 22nd wave of Operation True Promise for firing missiles and drones towards the Israeli.
Oh hell, that's the
There
same
is
stream I'm
operations,
running.
There is counter operations.
All right, so here's a multi-stream.
Since each passing day.
So this is World Conflict Live 24/7. Says the stream was started 10 hours ago. See, and it only says live war coverage in the heading. So let's see here. Let's test this. We'll go look at the chat. There's no time stamping on it. Oh, it's because I got timestamps turned off. Okay. Well, I mean, these comments are live. I think I've watched that movie. No, Butterfly, we're not going to get real news out of our country. I'm not even sure if I can. I haven't even watched CNN in the longest time. I just dropped out of all corporate media after the last election.
India today is in Middle East at ground zero as we see the regional conflict escalate.
See, I don't know why my screen is doing that. Hold on. I think that's better. All right. Stop it, lights.
The traffic as usual normal on the road. However, the traffic which is from UAE.
Yeah, I found my mom's copy of that one when I was a kid. It was X-rated. They showed that shit in theaters, like regular theaters.
To Oman, and there are multiple flights which are operating to different parts of the world. Since this city remains safe and calm, the Muscat is of course being one of the transit hub. However, the other cities in UAE also gradually restoring normalcy. They are restoring the traffics periodically to ensure a maximum number of the people reach safe on time. Somewhere between Oman and UAE, this Ashutosh Prashant for India today.
What's this? Beirut activity
Pranay
tracker.
Upadhyay joining me on the broadcast with more details on these developments taking place. Pranay, it's
Yeah, reading the book is the way to go. It's either that or just find a good documentary. You don't really need to watch that movie to know what Caligula was all about. It was almost as bad as Nero.
And in fact, today the Trump administration has to say that there is a much bigger attack that's in store for them against Iran. How are we looking at
So they're talking over here. It says 3 Hezbollah headquarters have been hit. 15th wave of attacks launched on
Good
Iran.
morning, Shreya. And I think the most worrisome part is when the US and the Israeli officers of their military, when they say that this operation will go on as long as it takes. So in fact, we are looking at a long haul because whatever they might have planned, but if you see, US alone has struck around 3,000 targets in last 8 days, and Israeli Air Force is continuously striking various targets. But still, Iranian regime has not crumbled. Iran has not succumbed. Iran has not kneeled down, and Iran is still standing. And though the intensity of retaliatory attack coming from Iran has gone down, it has lost its capacity to a great extent. But still, they are being able to fire back. They are using some of their ballistic missiles as well. So this clearly shows that they have also built up their fortresses. They have built up their positions, and in fact, that we are waiting for. We are looking.
Like, look at this thumbnail. They're like using a nuclear bomb mushroom cloud.
At a time, when the
I'm not sure if the Kurds have started fighting yet. Let me find out.
are now being borne by many countries, including India, be it the energy prices or be it the stranded, citizens. And in fact, 3 Indian citizens have also lost their life. Despite India maintaining a neutrality,
Here, this one's from 3 hours ago.
We have lost our 3 people, and the similar story is with many other.
And 3 days ago, obviously, we know the CIA is trying to arm them. I'm sure they're doing weapons drops in Iraq.
And smoke billowing following Israeli strikes. An explosion rocked Beirut's southern suburbs on March 6 with smoke billowing over the Lebanese capital. Israel pounded Beirut on Friday after
That is a very, very, very mountainous country.
southern suburbs of Lebanon.
Just running all the way down the side here.
Major expansion of the war against Iran that began a week ago alongside the United States. Now, the Israeli military has said that it carried out as many as 26 waves of strikes overnight against Hezbollah command centers and weapons storage. Israel has intervened in Lebanon repeatedly over the decades, most recently in a campaign that weakened Hezbollah in 2024. But the ferocity of Friday's strikes...
Yeah, I was told that my chat wasn't all that great either, but
amount of smoke
I think it might have been bad advice.
Region in Beirut shows the extent of the attacks of the strikes taking
They keep showing this same clip over and over again. I like to hear what she's saying though, but let me check out. I was just facing the gate.
Against each other.
और यहाँ पर अगर कुछ दिख रहा है तो वो बिखरी हुई इमारतें सड़कों पर और जो भी कुछ उन इमारतों के दाएं बाएं हैं वो सब कुछ तबाह हो गया है। हम अपने दर्शकों को तस्वीरों में दिखाएंगे यहाँ का हाल क्या है। मैं आपको इसके तौर पर जो है वो तस्वीरें यहाँ लाइव जो है इस वक्त दिखा सकता हूँ कि आप भी देख सकते हैं।
You know, I always thought it was all right.
इमेजिन भी नहीं कर सकता है कि बीरूत जैसा शहर का एक हिस्सा पूरी तरह से इसमें नुकसान पड़ा हुआ है। ये जो है ये
You know the saying, you know, honesty won't get you a lot of friends, but it gets you the right friends. I mean, that's my philosophy.
और अभी भी जो है ये कल शाम को धमाका हुआ था और अभी जो है यहाँ पर धुआं उठ रहा है। अभी जो है यहाँ आप देख सकते हैं कि तबाही कितनी इन एरियल स्ट्राइक से उठती है। ये जो है ये आसपास जितनी भी दुकानें हैं वो सब तबाह हो गई है। यहाँ पर कुछ जो एम्बुलेंसेस है वो यहाँ पर दाएं बाएं चल रही है।
Thank you, Scooter, and that's exactly where I want to keep it at.
इस पूरे शहर के कई
Like, even MAGA are welcome to chat if they're going to be intelligent and not just sit there and blurb out, you know, insults constantly because they can't, their brain can't function properly to have intellectual conversation.
उसके सभी दफ्तरों को न सिर्फ यहाँ बीरूत में बल्कि लेबनान के हर हिस्से में निशाना बनाया
Right on.
दक्षिणी लेबनान में तो जमीनी युद्ध शुरू हो गया है हिजबुल्लाह इजरायली सेना के बीच में वहां पर
Let me see what this video is about.
And turning now to all this talk about a possible ground invasion in Iraq also is raising concerns.
Hey, Llama,
the
thanks.
Trump administration are talking with.
There's no need for super chats when I'm sitting at home, but hey, man, why not?
They can also attack the regime. The United States has a long history of working with Kurdish fighters dating back over a
I do like
century.
Mercado and Status
President
Quo.
Nixon worked with then.
And they've been really busy up in Minnesota still.
The CIA. Joining us now is adjunct fellow at the Washington Institute, Michael Knights.
I'm going to watch this video real quick.
That part of history is a lot messier than a lot of people realize, from the coup to the Shah to the Iranian Revolution to now. But where do the Kurds stand in all of this today? They still don't have a state. What could we see from the north?
Well, thank you for having me. Around 10% of Iranians are Kurds, and that's about a quarter of the non-Persian ethnic minorities in the country. Around 40% of people in Iran are not Persians. They come from the various ethnic minorities.
Yes, they did. They were watching Dropkick Murphys earlier. I think I didn't see the stream until after they had played because they were showing the stage and people were, there wasn't that many people standing around, or maybe they hadn't played yet, but.
Resistance groups could find support from the US, from Israel, or could rise up on their own at this time when the regime is getting weaker.
And it looks like Iran has already announced officially that they were bombing some of the Kurdish positions. Is there unity among the Kurds? I mean, there are Iranian Kurds, there are Iraqi Kurds, there are
I'll be right back.
Kurds, right? Is everyone on the same page?
No, they're not on the same page. They're quite distinct groups of people, even though they the publics tend to want to support each other. They're very far away from each other and they're quite separated often by significant mountain ranges. But the Iranian Kurds and the Iraqi Kurds are quite closely connected. And the concern for Iraqi Kurdistan is that Iran is going to blame the Iraqi Kurds if some kind of uprising begins in Iranian Kurdistan. And in the past, the Iranians rather, have fired ballistic missiles and rockets into Iraqi Kurdistan to punish the Iraqi Kurds for facing some of these Iranian Kurdish.
If there are three-letter agencies talking to the Kurds right now, other than weapons and money, what do you think the United States could be offering them for help in some sort of ground operation?
Well, if you remember, at the end of the 1991 war, US Special Forces supported the Iraqi Kurds as they broke away from Saddam Hussein, and then in 2003, again, US Special Forces based out of Iraqi Kurdistan to help liberate northern Iraq from Saddam Hussein during that war. So there's a possibility that the Iranian Kurds will provide basing to US Special Forces, and possibly even Israeli Special Forces, who would support them with air power, planning, and intelligence.
Michael Knights, really appreciate all of your insight. Thank you so much.
All right, I'm back over here now.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, you got a live YouTube channel. Ooh, Al Jazeera. Let's see what they got going
this
on.
operation might have been, and indeed any confirmation of casualties. We do know that the Lebanese Health Ministry confirmed that 3 people were killed and 16 were injured during Israeli airstrikes on the town. We saw a massive number of Israeli
You haven't decided about
airstrikes
Midas?
throughout
I think that they do a really good job at covering things.
Locals and Hezbollah described as fire belts, like
and they're quick.
intensive bombing
Like when things hit the news,
during and
they're really
immediately
quick to
after that
report on it
operation.
for the most part.
Now, many of the people
And they're
who became
constantly
internally
churning out
displaced in Lebanon
media.
have ended up on the streets of central Beirut, sleeping
Are
in
they
their cars,
pretty on the left?
living
Yeah,
out
I would
in
give
the
them
open.
like, if there was a meter, they're like at 80. They're pretty far over there. I mean, they have a lot of great people that come on. Oh, here, let me turn that down.
Israeli shelling on that border village in southern Lebanon. With an Amina, the son Ali,
Oh no! Stop with the woodpeckers.
3 days traveling north, sleeping in their 2 cars that are
I was going to try to open up my own stream over here so I can read the chat better than just looking at my phone.
There was an airstrike. We barely made it out. We stayed on the road for more than 4 hours, moving a little at a time. In the end, we slowly kept going, and then an airstrike happened right in front of us. Thank God it didn't hit us. I had just recovered from the shock when another strike happened behind us.
like tens of thousands of others here. They have nowhere to go and no money to pay for a hotel or apartment. The government has handed over this stadium in Beirut.
Yeah, Mikado went to go cover Ukraine when the war broke out first too, didn't he?
Mikado went to go cover.
Here, I'm gonna turn off my own volume.
The main challenge now is preparing this area quickly. So
We don't need one of those endless loops of me talking, like the screen.
right now the site isn't ready. The toilets aren't working. There is no water.
That was a great way to start off my stream, though. I don't know if anybody saw that. It's like trying to crash YouTube or open a door to the 12th dimension. Good stuff.
Until then, people sleep where they can. Beirut's Corniche has become a campsite, and the city's public schools open as shelters.
Everyone here just wants to know when they can go home, but nobody in authority is able to tell them. There's every indication that Israel's operation in Lebanon may take weeks or even months.
In the meantime, more and more people forcibly displaced from the south need somewhere to go. Hussein's home was flattened by Israeli shelling this week for a second time. He just partly rebuilt it after the last war in November 2024. Only Israel will decide when we go home, he says. Bernard Smith, Al Jazeera, Beirut.
Now, these 3 UN peacekeepers have been injured in a missile attack in southern Lebanon. UNIFIL is investigating whether the strike on the Ghanaian mission in the town of Kwaza was deliberate. Lebanon's president accused Israel of launching the attack, and it comes after an incident late last year when the UN detachment also came under Israeli artillery fire. And fires have broken out at the facilities of 2 US
I hate it when I do that.
southern Iraq after a drone strike on Friday.
Well, I guess, don't do that.
At a compound in Basra. It contains employee residences.
It's like, how many screens would you like, sir?
Basra is Iraq's main oil hub in the south.
That actually kind of works.
Numerous international energy companies. A hotel in the capital of Iraq's Kurdish region has also been targeted in a drone strike. The strike in Erbil comes just hours after a warning by the US embassy in Iraq. It said Iranian-backed armed groups will likely target hotels.
Let's see if I can't find another stream from somebody's balcony or something. Oh, crap.
Nations hosting its troops. Saudi Arabia says it's intercepted 6 drones after an attempted attack on Aramco's Sheba oil field. The oil field is located in a sparsely populated desert region in the east of the country. Now over to Zain Basrawi now, who's live for us here in Doha. Yet more attacks on energy infrastructure, this time in Saudi Arabia.
That is correct. A week and 1 day into this war, and oil and gas prices continue to surge on the threat or the risk or the fear that this conflict will drag on and continue to disrupt supply, continue to disrupt the industry. And it really does illustrate that the incidents that take place here, even low-level ones, even with the frequency and volume of Iranian retaliatory attacks going down, all it takes is a few incidents to...
Yeah, so I'm just reading your comment here, Damon. Yeah, he is honest that he voted for him in 2016, but he's the prime example of the first wave of people that woke up and realized that he was just a con man.
Over the airport of Dubai this morning, Dubai's media office reported earlier today that a minor incident resulting from the fall of debris after an interception did disrupt air traffic to some degree, but they denied reports circulating on social media about any incident at Dubai International Airport itself. So that happening just within the last hour or so. Saudi forces
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this fixed again.
Riyadh, and the ministry also said it destroyed 4 drones and a ballistic missile in the south of the country. The ballistic missile targeting the Prince Sultan Air Base, regularly hosting U.S. forces.
I wish there was a button to just go widescreen.
For the Sheba oil field, as you said, air raid sirens heard in Bahrain overnight as well. So these ongoing incidents, even if they are low level, even if they don't make any direct hits or direct impacts, continue to impact markets and air travel.
Well, talking of air travel, Zain...
Yeah, I think he mentioned that J6 was the breaking point. So, I mean, I guess he made it through, you know, his whole first term, probably thinking that he was getting what he voted for.
From Doha as well, airlines clearly realizing that this is likely to be the new reality going forward. They're going to have to find a way to operate. So opening safe corridors around their airspace is the way forward. Qatar Airways saying in a statement, following temporary authorization from the Qatar Civil Aviation Authority confirming a safe operating corridor, Qatar Airways intends to operate repatriation flights on 7th March, departing Hamad International Airport to 5 locations: London, Paris, Madrid, Rome, and Frankfurt. Now, they go on to say that the priority on these flights is given to stranded passengers with families, elderly passengers, and those with urgent medical needs and compassionate travel needs. Each flight is pre-allocated. Qatar Airways has reached out to passengers directly, and what that means is that it's not as though we can book passage and leave. It's not as though things are totally back to normal. What they're beginning to do is to address those that need it most, those that need to travel most urgently. They are beginning to operate limited flights to limited locations, even under the current circumstances.
That's Zain Basrawi there live for us from Doha. US President Donald Trump has hailed the military's operation, saying Iran's military capabilities have largely been destroyed.
Yeah, she did.
Iran were doing very well.
Sorry, I'm going to try to fix my camera here again.
Scored from 0 to 10. I said I'd give it a 12 to a 15. Their army is gone. They're just about, look, their navy is gone. Their communications are gone. Their leaders are gone. 2 sets of their leaders are gone. They're down to the 3rd set. Their air force is wiped out entirely. Think of it. They have 32 ships. All 32 are at the bottom of the ocean.
Now, for more on President Trump's comments, here's our chief US correspondent, Alan Fisher.
Donald Trump in the Oval
Yeah,
Office.
Hillary sounded good when she was really giving them shit about
He, of course,
sharing photographs from within their closed-door meeting that they wanted made public.
everyone around the administration seems to suggest that the US is ahead of that timescale. He's talked about an unconditional surrender. Caroline Levitt, his press secretary, kind of gave...
I mean, me personally, I voted Democratic since
...announce an unconditional surrender and give up. Most people we speak to think that that's highly unlikely.
the late 90s.
Because of the US military
I voted for Clinton. He was my first president that I ever voted for.
the men or the material to retaliate. Now, Donald Trump says that he wants to be involved in the selection of a new leader in Iran. He says he wants someone who is...
We're all familiar with what's going on over here on Al
Who
Jazeera.
will work with the United States and also with Israel, but will also work with his Gulf colleagues. Now,
You will see, the pulses, bumper pulses, and in fact, the heavier attack will be faced by Iranian authorities. We will not let this regime continue. We will not let this government continue. And this leads to a very serious and a dangerous situation, Shreya, because a large number of people are on streets in Iran. We have seen, there are reports that the Minab attack on school, which resulted into death of students and young girls. In fact, US has not officially admitted it, but many US outlets, including New York Times, have suggested that they have verified that this was the result of a US strike. And this raises a very serious question.
Very true, Pranay. Pranay, do stay with us. Let me just take our viewers through this breaking news quickly. This is with regards to the government of India monitoring the affairs amid West Asia war, which Pranay was also referring to. Sources have come out to say that there's no undue surge in the fares allowed. That the Ministry of Civil Aviation had already come out to order right when the war had begun that no airline should be taking advantage of this very situation and making an entire
Mindy, I mean, like,
an entire space where there is air
I mean, I'm not
travel
very happy with our party.
just because of the situation in West
I mean, I'm
Asia. Of course, there have been
definitely
cancellations,
going to
there
be
have
more
been
happy with them than I am on any politician on the right, even though Massey is
to West Asia, because a lot of
being a shocking individual.
The United States and
Him and
Europe are
Rokan
connected through the
trying to
West
get those
Asia. So
Epstein
there have
files
been
released.
disruptions, but the Ministry of Civil Aviation has kept a very close
I like
watch
that.
on this entire matter. Amit Bhardwaj just quickly joins me to bring us some more details into what we are learning from our sources about the Ministry of Civil Aviation and how they have been monitoring the entire situation. Amit, a very good morning to you. Let me just quickly take some updates from you in terms of delays, rescheduling, how and what's the status basically
It's quite possible.
as the West Asian war wages on, and also the fact that take us through some
Pete
some of the
Buttigieg?
air prices and whether they are actually being
Butterfly, is that
regulated
which,
at this given point. What
which
are
Pete
you
you're
learning?
talking about?
Well, sure. The conditions are such that if you look at the, Indian carriers operating to North America or several of the Europe destination, right now they have to take longer.
Yeah, I think he's
And
a
obviously
really
that
good person,
adds on to
just in
cost,
general.
whether it be the fuel
I think he's
cost or
brilliant
other, parameters,
in the
but
mind
around priority
and in
of
his
the
heart,
Indian, carriers, operators such as Air India, Indigo, or all others who have international flights scheduled right now, is to ensure that.
I mean, she's been out there saying some shit. She's actually starting to sound like a Democrat. Like, no joke. I'm sure her policies wouldn't reflect that, but
issue as well. What we are seeing is that the air, through our sources, we have been given to understand that Indian operators are actually exploring more airport options which are being viewed as safe airports, because what we have seen in the...
Well, hold on a second.
Southern France for logistics operations. Portugal, Greece and Italy have also offered the US their bases for support purposes only.
Once again, the European Union is being shaken by a war beyond its borders and failing to come up with a common response. But despite their differences, there is one thing the European governments do agree on, and that is that they don't want their countries to be drawn directly into this conflict.
Most opinion polls in Europe suggest entering the war would be unpopular with the public. A drone strike on a UK base in Cyprus on Tuesday heightened anxiety. Several European countries, including France, are now sending ships and defensive equipment to the region, conscious that a war that most Europeans don't want is becoming increasingly close to home.
You know, for real, that would be great to have people that are younger in politics. I just honestly feel like that there's not a whole lot of interest in politics with the younger generation. You know, I mean, there's been a few exceptions, but it's just, I think they feel so frustrated that, you know, they're deterred. I mean, politics is a pretty difficult career choice, I would think. You're not going to make everyone happy.
And the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, also.
And letting down your constituents, especially the ones that directly voted for you, I can't imagine that that's a great feeling.
No end in sight to this conflict in the Middle East, which is disrupting global energy trade, global energy supplies. We've seen Brent crude topping $92 a barrel. The West Texas crude at $90 a barrel on Friday. That's a 12%.
Oh, that's a military jet.
In just one day for the West Texas crude, and a 35% increase over the last.
I was just looking at the flight tracker. Like, that's clearly a military jet. That's a U.S. That's Boeing.
West Texas crude has been.
It doesn't have any information leaving Tel Aviv.
All of this, as investors try to find.
I was just looking here and I'm like, why are they heading to Iraq? Of course, there's no transponder available. Where's this one going? That's an airliner.
Should deal with Iran unless there was unconditional surrender. Again, raise the question of how long this conflict will go on. With Qatar's energy minister, also saying that production might have to come.
You think that this is a military jet trying to get people out of our? I mean, it's about to cross into Iraq, anyways.
Kristen Salumi, Al Jazeera, New York.
Now, the global energy market is also being impacted by the conflict. Crude prices have surged as concerns mount over oil supply.
Oh yeah, so a family in Ohio who was telling me that yesterday gas was $2.45 a gallon, and today it was $3.45 a gallon. It jumped by a whole $1. Have any of you out there seen, you know, that aren't in Oregon, have you seen the gas prices jump yet?
Weekly loss of more than 3% was its biggest since early April. Asian markets experiencing their heaviest losses in years. South Korea's Kospi suffered a massive drop of nearly 12% on Wednesday, forcing authorities to temporarily halt trading. It finished the week down by 10.56%, and the Nikkei experienced its worst weekly performance in 11 months, ending the week down more than 5%. Peter Maguire is Australia's chief executive at Trading.com. He thinks the energy prices will rise further.
So as far as supply chains, and we all understand the Strait of Hormuz and what happens as far as restricting energy to countries and then the buying for that energy, yes, it does have a dramatic impact as far as global economy and GDP, and we've got to work through this over the next week or two. Inflation naturally will start to pick up, but the other side, of course, is how long does it take for countries to get back on? And well, I read the papers.
And Mindy, where you at?
Out of Qatar, and they're saying it will take many months.
You're pretty close to here, right? I think you've mentioned it before. Forgive me, I've forgotten. You're pretty close to here, right? And also, let me turn off my audio here.
That's it, or does the pressure start to mount? And in war, no one knows the actual outcome until when you look back in retrospect. So
it was.
And it's going to be a very interesting.
And again, I can't. Sometimes I just skim headlines, and I don't really read the articles. Maybe I might open it up and read the first few paragraphs just to get the gist. But I was seeing reports that they're expecting it to hit 150 a gallon. So like $7-8 gas per gallon is on the way. Gotcha, Mindy.
I feel as though 100 is going to be on its radar this week, and we may well be there by midweek.
Now, staying with the energy market in Pakistan.
Yeah, I had a feeling that you had mentioned that you were in Washington.
A fuel shortage has hit cities across the country. Some areas haven't received supplies for days. The country imports oil from Saudi Arabia and the UAE through the Strait.
Leave that there for a minute.
Pakistan's already suffering from soaring inflation and high poverty. The situation is already tough. Businesses are struggling and people are stuck. With this inflation, a petrol price hike isn't just a number. It'll make everything more expensive. The government should reconsider this.
Damon, I believe that. I'm actually shocked it's not higher for you right now.
They're causing trouble.
But I mean, Kansas, you're still pretty close to Texas, and that's where the cheap gas is. Who is it? Texas Pete? Are you familiar with this content creator? I think he had mentioned that gas had jumped 80 cents in Texas, like it was $2.09 a gallon, dirt cheap, and then it was almost $3 a gallon in Texas.
It can take up to an hour and a half to reach the pumps, where there are limits on how much people can buy.
If the station is only selling $14 worth of fuel per person, we fill the $14 and then we go to another station. And if we have time to wait, we fill some more. We have to collect fuel little by little like that.
The US and Israel's war with Iran, Strait of Hormuz, a key oil and gas shipping lane, have sent global prices soaring. And Myanmar imports 90% of its fuel. Some service stations have already closed.
Because of the commotion, everyone started buying fuel in panic. There was still stock in the afternoon, but by evening, the gas stations that were selling just shut down.
The knock-on effect of inflation is likely to push up transport and food costs for millions of people already living on the edge after 5 years of civil war. The military government has implemented a rationing system based on license plate numbers in the parts of the country it still controls, but has not indicated how much fuel has been stockpiled or when it will run out. Jack Barton, Al Jazeera.
Yeah, Damon, that makes sense. I mean, taxes are a big part of it. Which is what blows my mind about Oregon, because like I have one gas station that I go to, you know, and they'll have a cash price, they have your credit price. But I like all week I've been getting gas at like $3.45, but it seems like the average price of gas in the Portland area is over $4. And I don't understand why there's such a swing, but I was thinking maybe it's localized taxation that pushes the price up when you get to other areas.
Are closed until further notice. In the past couple of days, only Kerem Abu Salim was open, and only approximately 150 trucks were allowed to enter between aid, commercial, and fuel. And these are definitely not enough for the 2 million Palestinians living in the Gaza.
So brilliant, you're in the Portland area. I go to Arco over on Belmont. Or no, it's not Belmont. It's I'd have to look at my phone. I think it's off of Cesar Chavez.
Here, Palestinians are very scared that borders are going to close. They
Gotcha.
don't have access to food, and they're fearing another wave of famine.
It's nice out there. I get around.
The latest country to ban social media and other popular online platforms for under 16s. The measure aims to protect young people from online harm. Indonesia's communications minister announced that platforms considered high risk.
It's crazy. I'll hear people talking like, yeah, it's the one by the Walmart, or not Walmart. It's by a Walgreens. And then there's like Two Brothers restaurant. I think it's a I can't remember what nation of origin the cuisine is from, but yeah, there's a Walgreens and then the Arco. Excuse me.
Before we end this bulletin, here's a reminder of our top stories. The war has entered its second week with no signs of slowing down. Overnight, the Israeli military said it launched another wave of strikes targeting Tehran. Earlier, the White House said its objectives Iran should be met within 4 to 6 weeks. That came after Donald Trump said there would be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender. More than 1,000 Iranians have been killed since the conflict began last year.
That plane I was tracking just disappeared.
Waves of strikes over the past week have caused extensive damage in Tel Aviv.
Oh, you know what? They crossed into Iraq and they probably turned all their tracking equipment off.
Clashes along the border with Syria near the Nabi Chit area in the Bekaa Valley.
Yeah, here, let me look it up real quick.
Israel's been striking the area in other parts of Lebanon since Monday. That's it from me.
It's the one right over here.
Sami Zaidan will be here with our continuing coverage.
So yeah, it's Belmont and Cesar Chavez. Yeah, I think you were right because they renamed that street. I was told.
Has Donald Trump failed to sell?
No, sorry about that, Mindy. It's right here if you can see. I don't really want to zoom in again. Yeah, 33rd. Yeah. So it's Belmont and 33rd. They tend to have the cheap gas. I was told it's not that great though, but you know what? It's gas. Let's see what AP's got going on here. I think they're still showing just that same scene. I got 2 Al Jazeera going? No. Exactly. Yeah, the only time I wouldn't trust a gas station, like when I was in Florida, there were some places they had problems with rainwater getting into their tanks, and that's bad. So the Al Jazeera, did I freeze that? Yeah, I did. Let's see what they're on live.
Report from Imogen Kimber.
In the weeks before the US and Israel attacked Iran, Washington was threatening to strike. But only a few of the US or Israel's allies say they were consulted ahead of the attacks. The EU has criticized Iran.
Yeah, I heard that about the Astros too.
But a week
or what is
into
it, the
war,
Space
no other
Age?
states joined the fight.
Space Age gas stations?
The UK said it will not strike Iran, and the way forward is negotiation. But it is sending defences.
That we're sending 4 additional Typhoon jets to join our squadron in Qatar, Wildcat helicopters with anti-drone capabilities.
It's all good. I love talking about Portland.
Tomorrow, we're deploying HMS Dragon to the Mediterranean, and we have allowed the US to use British bases to conduct.
It's been a minute since I dropped in on.
Sending its nuclear-powered aircraft carrier to the Mediterranean, and also allowing the US to use its military bases defensively. However, the president says the French military is not involved, and
nobody can think that the issues of Iran's program.
This Danny Rebel, his stream is going on down there. He's got 12 people watching.
Spain is sending support to Cyprus.
I'm not even down there and I've got 12 people watching. I appreciate all 12 of you and the few that have been coming and going.
The French government can be summed up in 4 words. No to the war. The world has been here before. 23 years ago, another U.S. administration dragged us into a war in the Middle East.
US President Donald Trump was not happy.
Spain actually said that we can't use their bases, so we're going to cut off all trade with Spain.
And while the
What an
UK
idiot.
is now allowing
We can't use their military bases, so we're going to cut off all trade with Spain.
initially
What a great way to make
a
enemies.
strategically located base on the Chagos Islands.
By the way, I'm not happy with the UK either. This is not the age of Churchill. I will say the UK has been very, very uncooperative with that stupid island that they have, that they gave away. They ruined relationships. It's a shame.
According to Trump, Germany is helping out, but Beijing and Moscow have both condemned the US and Israel's attacks on Iran, calling on them to stop their aggression.
Damon, I like to try to keep it that way.
Iranian oil, and Russia has said
French fry oil. I've heard about being able to convert engines, I don't think I would do it to
And from rising
anything
energy
larger than a
prices to the further
four-cylinder.
breakdown of international law, the rest of the
But I
world
could be
will
wrong.
forced to face the consequences of a war it did not start. Imogen Kimber, Al Jazeera for Inside Story.
Well, let's discuss all of this further with our guest joining us today.
Yeah, riding public transportation here on a head full of acid might be a little too much for some people to handle.
Program at the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft.
LSD can hit you just kind of crazy. Those shrooms are really predictable. At least they are, in my opinion.
And a senior fellow at the Chicago Council on Global Affairs.
That's still that same stream.
Dominique Trinquant, former head of the French military at the mission to the United Nations for France, and also France's mission to NATO. Thank you, all three of you, for joining us today on Inside Story. Let me start with you in Brussels, Teresa. If we go back to the start of this conflict, within hours, the UN Security Council met. That's the key place for players in the world to express their views. 15 members sit around the horseshoe table, but on this occasion, 14 of them were just bystanders, weren't they?
That's true. I call it the impotent herbivore problem here in Europe. The Europeans feel very frustrated that they're unable to shape the strategic landscape of even their nearest neighborhood. I'm talking about Ukraine. And now they, once again, are a bystander to what's happening in Iran. And Europeans are immediately feeling the effects of this in regard to increased energy prices.
Here's another one.
Effects for inflation.
It says U.S. Air Force.
In Europe, so there's more fragmentation.
It's right here.
In an already fragmented system. So we see tensions between Germany and France.
Flying in towards Iraq.
Macron is kind of turning towards Sanchez, and he's being criticized by many for not standing up for other EU members when he was in the White House talking to Trump.
And Anatol, this has gone on.
It took off from Israel.
The world really has not had a say. If you go back before the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the Iran nuclear deal, as we tend to call it, in 2015, it was a global issue. There was the so-called P5+1, the 5 permanent members of the Security Council, Russia, China, France.
We talk about Zelensky sending over his drone specialists. That's going to happen. Zelensky's just going to do the right thing. Because that's the kind of man that he is. He is a very stand-up world leader.
Strikingly good international effort, including Russia, to bring about this agreement, which Trump, of course, then tore up.
Yeah, but he's going to send over those drone specialists to help them figure that out. I mean, hell, they're not. It's not that far.
At that time, Conservative Prime Minister said that the European countries remained committed to the JCPOA, but under American pressure, they were totally unable to do anything.
Yeah, duh. I know where Ukraine is.
Or defend it.
I mean, it's not that far to get them down there.
Completely impotent. And I mean, what is?
And I mean, that's the thing that they're having the biggest problem with, because
despite, as we've just heard,
these missile interceptors
more immediately than any other
they're so expensive. They're like $1 million, or let's just say they're $1 million. These drones cost tens of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands of.
So it's like, make your enemy waste their resources.
Stranded in the Gulf.
That is a valid resistance tactic. And it's an unsustainable one.
Shows you the seniority that you have had in the French system. You know about how alliances work. You've worked.
Oh yeah, Brilliant Butterfly. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm on flightradar24.com right now.
How unusual is it for key allies?
It's just interesting. Look, it disappeared. Look, it's going to disappear.
Security Council, along with the US, not to be fully consulted in something as big as this.
Yes, no, it's something very new. If we just remind the war in 23, is that at that time there was consultancy inside the Security Council. Now there is nothing. And I think it's more an Israeli war where the Americans are joining the Israelis.
Oh, come on now.
Concerning the threats on Israel, and so are not interested about talking with other countries. And
It disappeared, but it did come back.
Only if there are consequences.
Oh, see, there it goes.
Because it was.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I'm gonna reevaluate this real quick.
10 years ago, roughly. But in fact, in the last.
So this was the flight that it took.
He was talking only about the agreement which was.
And they stopped tracking it here. You know, I think that they're just they're blocking the actual flight information of anything that's over these regions because it could be used against them.
The Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has said we say no to breaking.
I mean, that makes total sense.
That protects us all. That's his quote.
Okay, well, let me get.
He's saying what the others actually believe, but he's the only one who's daring to speak out.
No, I want to close that. Oh.
That's very true, and I think that he's very popular.
Yeah, I think that they're just hiding everything as soon as it crosses over into Iraq.
The UK, for example, initially Starmer refused.
And Iran as well.
The US used their bases.
Surely there's flights over these airspaces.
They're also allowing.
I don't know why they wouldn't. Oh, it just occurred to me.
And then, for example, the UK.
So that was a military transport.
Spain has a trade. Surplus.
It wasn't like a Globemaster or any of that. It wasn't like a, you know.
Really punish them economically, which Trump.
But they might be dropping weapons to the Kurds.
Put 100% tariffs on Spain, and so I think that Europeans have to bide their time carefully because of the feedback loop about Russia, the war in Ukraine. So they have to try to keep.
Yeah, just look at this. It's just this huge bubble.
The US is kind of
Everyone is avoiding that airspace.
Have pulled back a lot from Ukraine, but they're very dependent on the US, not only in Ukraine, but also in the Gulf, which is a key region for them. So the Europeans are once again reminded about their holiday from history where they decreased defense spending for 30 years. The defense base is really eroded, and they need to develop a layered defense. Sometimes there's a lot of money sloshing around now to increase defense spending, but maybe it's not the most efficient way to do it. We're seeing even the U.S. asking for help on drone warfare, which to my mind was a complete shock. We've had 4 years of war in Ukraine.
Everyone, I'm going to step away for 10 minutes, continue the conversation. I'll be right back.
To actually send experts to help them fight against Iran drones, the Shahed drones. So it's a very complex world that we're living in. It's very difficult, and I think that there's been a lack of strategic planning. Previous speakers spoke about not talking to the allies. This shows complete, Trump doesn't try to cultivate ally support, but he's going to need it. And some have seen that this will help Russia because of increasing energy prices, but we also see that Ukraine has a part to play in this, helping the US government learn the best techniques to fight against Iran Shahed drones.
Anatol, of the countries that Trump's been critical of, Spain, but then the UK. You heard Theresa there talking about the way the UK is trying to explain this now, saying, yes, you can use our bases, but only for defensive missions. This from a country that always talks about its so-called special relationship with the United States. Pretty hard-hitting comments from Trump that Starmer is no Winston Churchill. What do you make of how that will be seen by the British government and the British people?
Well, as we just heard, there are great implications of all this for domestic politics in Europe. I mean, Sanchez has made himself more popular in Spain with his hard line against this war. Starmer, I think, has reinforced his as a waverer, as somebody who can't make up his mind, who has no real principles, who goes in one direction then immediately in another direction. And I think that this will, on the one hand, it will drive further the defection of Labour voters, which we've seen on such a large scale, to the Greens. on the radical left, a pattern we've seen across much of Europe. But on the other hand, we have, really quite feral statements from the Conservatives and the far-right Reform Party in support of this war. So I think it will drive further the disintegration of the centre and the polarisation of politics in Europe. And of course, it will further alienate Muslim minorities, which will further drive ethnic tensions in Europe. So for Europe, this war is a disaster.
Dominique, let's rewind a little bit to a time I think you remember well, 2003. Then you were serving, because all of the missions, the embassies that are there at the UN in New York have top-level military people serving there too. You were serving in the French mission to the United Nations. Back in 2003, France and Germany took a very, very strong stand against George W. Bush's war plans in Iraq. Compare that with now. Yes, France does not think this is legal, but the criticism is much more muted, would you not agree? And why do you think that is?
Oh yes, I think there are two major reasons. The first one is in 2003, we had no proof about the danger of Iraq and the fact that Iraq was linked to the 9/11 attacks. So we needed proof. We didn't have proof. The second point is that it was the only war. Currently, we have proof that Tehran is dangerous through, of course, against Israel, but also against all countries with terrorism. And the second point is that we've got other war, and the strategic issue of Ukraine is more important for European, and we need US with us on the fight against Moscow, and that's why probably the position is different.
Teresa, do you think there's also an aspect that about the way the Trump administration is conducting this war, that some might say this is not the way Western nations normally conduct war? I'm talking about, yes, there have been assassinations in history, but it tends to be a taboo that you start with a decapitation policy. Also, the sort of comments that come from the US Defense Secretary of War, as he calls himself, Pete Hegseth, saying we're not going to worry about nation building, democracy building, or political correctness or rules of engagement for that matter. And even the White House putting out videos showing the war as some sort of video game. Do you think there's distaste about all of that?
Well, 2 points. The first point is, in Europe, there's no tears being shed for the decapitation of the Ayatollah. I think that many people in Europe understood that Iran was really a threat. And there's been a lot of things happening in the lead up to this. For example, there was a ship stopped on the way from China to Iran, and some technology was removed. Some people have speculated that it was a hypersonic glide bomber that was moving to Iran. So there have been a lot of things that have been reported on, and things have been slowly adding up. But on the other hand, because of the Trump administration's approach to Europe, this kind of cavalier way that Hegseth speaks, of course, he's alienating a lot of Europeans. We saw a year ago at the Munich Security Conference, the Vance speech. This year we saw the Rubio speech, and Europeans just thought it was better than Vance's, so they stood up and clapped, not realizing initially that he was pretty much saying the same thing, but in a more diplomatic way. So the Europeans are kind of stuck. They're being squeezed. They don't have a lot of options here. And will this actually increase their ability to work together? I'm seeing initial fragmentation. We see issues on Hungary still blocking EU funding, 90 billion for Ukraine, because he wants to get oil from Russia and through the Druzhba pipeline, which was damaged by a drone. So he's being able to hold Europe hostage. And there's not a strength of view in Europe to punish Hungary. They had 4 years to get off Russian oil, and instead they actually increased dependency on Russian oil by 54%, some have analyzed. So the Europeans are even finding it difficult to get, it's like trying to get all these cats together. And Orban and Slovakia are kind of traditional countries that are very pro-Russia, and they're always kind of throwing a wedge into the wheel. So over the longer term, I think Europe really has to get their own house in order, get all the EU member states on the same page. We're watching, again, hostage diplomacy by Orban blocking things unless he gets what he wants. It's also an election year for Orban, so we're seeing him really playing.
I'm gonna catch up on chat real quick.
With Brussels. So there are a lot of issues that Europe has. It's very
I miss Scooter's leaving. I'm sorry.
Challenges, and they're not really equipped to do this. They're trying to spend a lot more money, but maybe they're not spending it wisely, and we need to see.
Yeah, let's see. If Jade was going down to the facility, she should be on scene.
Meter shell that
How many browser tabs do you think I can open before this computer crashes?
Cause problems for the Ukrainians. So I think that the Europeans agree that there needs to be more standardization, but we also see internal problems. For example, with this jet fighter program that was originally established in 2017 between France and Germany, and that's pretty much
Jade, the journalist. I think she moved here from Minnesota recently,
Germany's tired of,
but she's getting started streaming in our area as well.
Different moving pieces here. Europe that's unable to speak.
No, I guess maybe she's not down there. Let me see here. Oh no, she is.
And there are many challenges ahead.
Anatol, let's move
further.
So very clear from what
she was still streaming earlier.
Among the US's allies. Let's move
it froze up, I guess. Maybe I thought she had stopped her stream, that she was going to go down.
The UN Security Council.
She's still at her house.
Permanent members, Russia and China. Anatol, how will China see this as a huge economic problem, one assumes, because of the oil supplies that it gets from Iran?
So, real quick, everyone, I've been trying to figure out some kind of content to do during the week. This might be it. At least it's kind of a forum for people to have conversation. We could talk about the craziness that's going on everywhere while still kind of keeping track of what's going on with other people. See, she's not streaming PM now. This Hook Global, I think they're showing reruns of footage. Yeah, this looks similar. Wow. Let's Beirut. Not me, I had my 50 already. I eat these things. These are cheap and effective. You get 2 50 milligram edibles for $6. It's the size of an Allen later. Oh no, definitely these are a nice buy. $6 for 250 milligram edibles. Yeah, and here's the thing. Sometimes they go on sale for $4.50, but because I also have my marijuana permit, my handler's permit, I could go work at a dispensary, I get 20% off still. So I got 300 milligrams for $14. It's private stash, and they have some generic products, like their vapes. They do have higher quality vape, but I think a lot of their vape carts are just distillate, and it's fine if you just need that. I got this at Chalice Farms, and they are a local chain. Yeah, I mean, my tolerance is high. And sometimes I'll eat 2 of those in a day. Usually have one Morning, maybe about an hour after I wake up. And then I might eat another one later at night, depending on how I'm feeling. I usually just take the vape. I'll do the vape throughout the day just to kind of help kind of stay medicated and maintain the balance. Mandy, I would absolutely stock up. That's one thing I like. I've been in Seattle, and when I was still living out of this area, I was checking out the different dispensaries, and Washington just seemed expensive. It's like California is expensive. I haven't found a cheap dispensary in California ever. Like it was pretty on par with Florida. Florida was like, and I still wouldn't try to buy anything that was market price. It had to be on discount. But even with 25% off, I'm still spending $30 to $40 for just an eighth of flour. 100 milligrams of edibles is like $30. You might be able to get them on discount. Sometimes you could find some deals. Yakima, but that's like far. That's out by the gorge. That's actually, I think that's where because I went and seen Dave Matthews the last, they're coming out.
When this conflict finally ends, what is Iran going to look like? It's not any
Fuck Tommy.
And I think, especially for Europe, they're going to be worried about refugees flooding in, and don't even know what kind of strategy there is for the day after this.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Give me just a quick second. Let me pause that. Someone is giving them shit. He was like, yeah, fuck you. He was like, you, no, you, yes, you. No, not you, you.
Get yourself together, man.
You guys should be out there. It's only a little bit of ghost.
You like getting spanked by the ACLU, you fucking loser? You guys look like dweebs. You feel like dweebs? Fucking loser?
Hey, Josh wants to give me a blowjob.
This is live on with protest footage from the Maybe Strong Monday. The protest is Maybe Strong Monday.
And just so I can give them the proper shout out. Everybody here is aware of Pretend Media, correct? If you're not, go give them a follow as well. I'm pretty sure that we all are here.
That is, it's like
I mean, there is a decent crowd down there. All right, let's get back over here.
The leader. So it's very clear. Maybe Israel wants such a weakened Iran that it could fragment, but I think that would be a real danger for the rest of the people in the region. So does Israel's goals and the U.S. goals, do they converge, or are they going to down the road, especially for Europe? And
I was good.
I want to let them know I'm actually kind of sub-streaming them.
To get the war to end, it seems to me that the only thing is economic leverage, and that means, I'm afraid, for all of us, things in the world and the global economy are going to get worse.
Yes, I mean, the one thing I think that would bring Trump to end this war is if prices at US gasoline pumps really go up, and that threatens the Republicans in the midterm elections. in November. And of course, if the world economy really...
Another guy who's been streaming down there, and he doesn't have much of a following, but have another Taco PDX.
Present Iranian strategy.
He's really chill.
Good news for any of us. Thank you to our guest today. I know you had something else to say, Teresa, but it'll have to be on our next program. Anatole Lieven, Teresa Fallon, and Dominique Trinquant. We are not taking our eye off this story. Comprehensive coverage continues 24 hours a day on Al Jazeera. For more context and analysis, go to aljazeera.com. And if you have comments on the war, please post them on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/AJ Inside Story. On X, your views are welcome at AJ Inside Story.
With that, and I'm starting to go after.
Stay safe and well. Bye-bye for
No,
now.
I was getting renegotiating over for some of the stuff people were yelling down here, and supposedly, if you state a disclaimer, it shows up in the I don't know, YouTube's AI, and you're less likely to get popped for it.
You know, I think I want to make my...
I would rather you didn't restream me cameras for accountability. There's only one person that's allowed to restream me explicitly, and they have a licensing agreement with me. I am actually in the process of going after a couple of people and having them take down their streams taken.
All right, so I will restream Jade then, because look at this. Okay, see this? These are those cluster rockets that I've been hearing about. Like, what the shit? Terror from the fucking sky. This has never been a thing in warfare ever. And when did Iran ever decide to use these kinds of weapons? Like, that is nuts. Look at this. It's nuts. I think it's just high explosives. Also, if anybody's in PM's chat, let him know I cut his little stream off on my screen here. Except for this one. And I can't help that. People can restream my shit. They can restream my restream. Should I open up my window that just shows my screen and try to open the 12th dimension again? Was anybody here for that? Oh, sorry. The camera's on my tripod. Was anybody here for that? Do you want to see something real trippy? A little off topic. Yeah, it's just nuts. Again, I don't think those kinds of weapons have ever been used in warfare before. Cluster fucking missiles. Like, of course Iran had to come up with a way to get through the Iron Dome. You can't shoot all those warheads down. It's impossible. It's just carpet bombing, missile style. All right, I'll close out Jade's stream too. Let's see here. What other tabs do I got open? Well, here, let me fix this real quick. Because there's no need to... I mean, now that I'm sitting here in front of my own computer, watching these things go through chat, 45 makes a lot more sense if I'm even going to do that. Chat rolls, I like it at every 10 minutes. I think it's important. Mindy, you like these? I like to do this. It gives, like, for real, I have more of an opportunity to have a conversation with everybody who's watching. Instead of me looking at my left, my right, up front, by the gate, all that stuff all the time. This does make more sense. Sometimes, clearly. I will end up back down at the facility at some point, but just right now I am... I wouldn't say I'm reevaluating things. I'm trying to restructure all of this. Damn it, absolutely it's easier on my body. Like, my desk chair is pretty nice, but like, I have arthritis in my left hip. I'm sure I've mentioned it on my streams before, but I have one of those really nice cushions. Hey, Kelly girl, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming over and saying hi. But here, let me get back to something here. Let me put the volume back on here. What is Al Jazeera talking about?
There have been massive explosions in Tehran's Mehrabad airport. It's the capital's main...
Mindy, have a great night. I'll see you next time. I work late tomorrow. I do my security job, so I won't be able to do any kind of streaming. But Sunday, I will probably do something very similar to this again, since I won't be down at the facility for the foreseeable future. Not forever, not for that long. I taken a step back to reorganize.
Another barrage of Iranian missiles. Air defense systems worked overnight to intercept them. The Trump administration has approved a new $151 million emergency arms sale to Israel.
What do you mean he's turned into everyone else? Excuse me. I mean, I asked him about the live, you know, the restreaming, and that's just out of respect. You know what I mean? I heard him talking about, hey, my this and that, donations, this and that. Mindy, we're definitely going to have a lot more intellectual conversations then. I promise you that.
Tens of thousands of people. Iran is continuing to target Gulf nations hosting U.S. troops. Saudi Arabia says it's intercepted and destroyed drones.
You know, and that's something that I've always wanted to avoid, Kelly. It's, you know, like I was just sitting there changing my little Nightbot stuff. You know, I mean, I wouldn't know. Ooh, that was weird. I wouldn't know how these things work if I'm not sitting in front of my computer, you know, and that's important.
More than a week. That's after Qatar closed its airspace following Iranian attacks. Qatar Airways says it's given priority to passengers stranded by the conflict.
It's just insane.
Urgent, compassionate travel.
It's like, how do we dude, this is our fault. Just freaking basic human decency doesn't exist in this world anymore. For the majority, it seems. Or for at least the people. Well, no, that's a bad statement. For the oligarchy, for the elite, for the billionaire class, for the freaking 1%, basic human decency does not exist anymore. Exactly, not everything is about money, but these people love power. And here's the thing. Say you work hard your whole life and you end up with like $1 million. Could you retire? If you could retire, would you do it? Or would you want more? Some of these people see money as power. Money is power. But once you get past the point of you could never spend your entire bank account in a lifetime, the only thing that you are accumulating after that point is power. Whether it be political power, you know, power in your industry, power across, you know, corporate decision making. Yeah, retire at a mill. That's all you need. You don't need any more than that. So like all these billionaires are hoarding all this money. It's the proverbial plate of cookies, right? I think we all know what I'm talking about. Here, let me see if I can fix this a little bit. But it's the proverbial plate of cookies. When one person holds the most of the cookies and there's only a few left for the rest of them, how much are those few cookies worth? That's inflation. These people need to be taxed out of their bank accounts. The money needs to be put back into circulation. This is what was going on after World War II. There were, you could look it up. They were taxed like 90 to 95% past a certain level of wealth. They could have it as a write-off if they put that money into like research and development, which improves things, so they could write it off. That's why there was so much innovation back in that time era, because they were, you know, given the opportunity to either pay that money in tax or to reinvest it in their own business, in their employees, in the community, in the nation, in the world. And that's not happening anymore. Reagan screwed it all up. Tax cuts, tax cuts, tax cuts. All the money that goes to ICE right now needs to put in a fucking infrastructure when this regime falls. Every single dime. We're already suffering. Just take that money, flip it, build the bridges we need, fix the roadways, build freaking high-speed rail. There's been tons of talk all over the country about having these things done. We could really benefit from projects like that, not just from what they provide in the long term, but the jobs that they create. I don't get it. It all comes back around to these people have got to control as much money as they can because money is power.
Basically, that attempt by Israeli commandos to go deep, 70 kilometers deep into Lebanon.
Capitalism is in its death throes. MAGA sees it. They can't admit it. They think they've got it made right now. Ooh, boy, is that wrong.
And that Israeli troops were forced to leave. According to Hezbollah, 4 Israeli helicopters.
Absolutely. I'm going back to reading comments instead of making hand motions in my camera.
Now that's a town in the Bekaa in the east of Lebanon.
You know,
a place where Hezbollah
changing it's still the Department of Defense. They just added a tagline. But of course that was telling. That's like saying, oh, it's the Department of Human Resources is now Department of Slavery subtitle. You know, it's like that's a big tell. Not that that's happened clearly, but as example.
Confirming that there has been an increase in the number of troops.
Yeah, Butterfly. Yeah, they're all sitting in their nuclear basements, right?
Sustained injuries in Hezbollah attacks. Now, this would be the first time an Israeli airborne operation would be reported since the latest.
Oh, that's cool.
Between Hezbollah and Israel began.
Getting gifted money from our family, our elder generations, it's all right. Because they get the tax write-off, exactly. You keep the money in the family, you just cheat the government. I'm all about cheating the government. What the fuck are they going to spend that money on? Wars?
It is not the Hezbollah stronghold, unlike here in the east.
Tawheed in Tehran, you mentioned a week ago at this point was when this war first broke out. It was also the point at which those strikes killed Iran's supreme leader.
So it looks like there's a flight heading from Istanbul. Where is it going?
Well, actually, we've got the report yesterday.
Dude, oh, I just remembered that. Did I not just see something about Iran was going to try to attack Turkey as well, or have they attacked Turkey?
Also composed of 3 people: Iranian president, Iranian head of
I mean, that right there, that's the whole region of the Middle East. That I feel
of the leadership and control of the country. They said that
that's like World War III for real.
To go through this process and have the meetings for the assembly.
It blew my mind seeing Trump when asked if the if the American people should expect attacks here on our own soil, and he said, "Well, people die in war." Like, what the fuck? That's just nuts. It's a clear sign of detachment from reality.
It's not really clear because of basically two facts. We are dealing with the most important political decision in the Islamic Republic political.
Hey, Damon, don't. If your kids are really in the music industry, don't rush their creativeness.
There are consultations going on. And
I know it's a hope that it would happen quickly. I'm sure.
Because of the very fact that the Supreme Leader is the same person who enjoys.
There's been a lot of bad music made because they were pressured by a record label, right?
Decision making in Iran, and that's going to be critically important.
So Fly PGS
decisions and actions
looks like it's heading into at least Syria, Iraq, or Iran. What the hell? Okay. Oh, if I zoom in a little bit, why would it do that?
We are dealing with a situation where airstrikes are continuing, and that is making it really hard to have such a meeting. And we are hearing, and even though not confirmed, that
awesome.
There are some online meeting or something like that to continue these consultations. But it's still, we know that in city of Qom, one of the buildings belonging to the Assembly of Experts was targeted. That basically shows the risk that in case of...
All right, well, it's not like I got 100 people watching my stream, but again, those of you that are the ones that stick around and hang out and have conversation and actually utilize the chat, you seem to enjoy this format. I'll do this again. Absolutely, I will for sure. And because honestly, one of my goals is to, again, I'm not a grifter, but I do want to have my channel monetized. Just that way, if somebody does want to make a donation, that they can do that. However, when I'm down there streaming, I want to get to the point where I can make my streams private after the fact, and they can't be watched by people trying to dox or any nefarious purposes. I'd like to get my channel to that point that I can do that. So expect more of this. Yeah, it could be members only. It could be members only. Maybe. Again, like at one point a couple of weeks ago, I think it was the weekend before last, I was approached by people from Black Bloc, and they had mentioned to me that my video and other streamers' video is being used to dox protesters. It's definitely not something that I want to have happen or be a part of. And I do care about all of their well-being. They're the ones out there. I mean, again, I'm just a dude with a camera, but they're the ones standing at the line, screaming, making their voices heard. So their safety and their privacy is extremely important. But again, expect more of this. I'll probably change that Nightbot for that chat stuff to like 15 minutes too. I'll do that later. But hey, what is it? I've been on here almost 3 hours. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream off. Again, though, I appreciate everyone for coming back. Again, I'm sorry it's not like I'm down there. And I know that this is a nice little change. It's good to have conversation. The problems in the world clearly are bigger than just what's going on in our own cities. Not that we can ever ignore what happens in our own backyard. That should still be in our perspective. But when we have psychotic world leaders doing this kind of bullshit, we should be paying attention to it too. It's important. And there's a lot of different communities out there, and they are all important. I love you all. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by again. I'll probably see you Sunday. Thanks for coming by.
Sleeping in their 2 cars.
that are packed with everything that it can.